themselves any and every kind of excuse all the time. And they'll say, that person right there, they're crazy. They're built different. Well, if you mean they get up earlier, they stay later, they do stuff different, they do stuff for others, they ask questions, they're humble, they work really, really hard when no one's around, then yeah, they're probably built different. See, they probably wake up earlier than people and stay later than people, staying humble to themselves, their higher self. See, people will label you as you're built different. See, that should be your label, because people feel bad about themselves. Because you're setting the example every single day of your life, day in and day out. And you wake up every single day of your life being you. See, that's how you start to callous your mind. See, it's gonna suck, it's not gonna be fun. You gotta do something that sucks every single day of your life. That's how you grow. When something sucks good, it's gonna make you tougher. It's gonna give you a good story to tell. So bring it on. See, you gotta learn to bring that beast mentality, that pioneer mentality out of yourself. Greatness is not something that you meet once. It's something that you're always meeting and always grasping for. Constantly in constant reach of, in pursuit of greatness. Some people are not successful because they think effort is success. They think because they put in 40 hours at the workplace that they're supposed to be successful. They're supposed to get something that they only put 40 hours in for. It don't work like that in the school of life, the school of hard knocks. See, it doesn't matter what you do, you gotta execute when you do it. See, lazy people do a little bit of work and think they should be winning. But winners work as hard as fucking possible and still worry if they're being lazy. A true beast mentality is not enough to make it to the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, to be a better doctor. It's not enough to run a 5K, a 10K race. So you gotta go out there and do something with it. See, you gotta want it for you more than you want it for you. Why give up when you're so close? If you don't chase it, you're losing. You're the only one that can make it happen for you. It's you against you out there in life. You have to think, I am the best person out here. The president in my own paradigm. You gotta be the one getting up every morning, being disciplined, putting in the consistent daily hard work to gain success. It's always you versus you. You win by yourself and you lose by yourself. And if you worry about others or where you're going, then happiness won't find you. You gotta work the process and the craft and skill that gets you to the outcome. You gotta know exactly what the hell you're made of. A true winner, and their goal is not to win. Their goal is to get better and strive. That's what they live for. They live to work, not to win. Don't mistake the two W's. See, nobody knows what you're doing when you're putting in the extra reps, running the extra lap, going the extra mile. You gotta be able to be possessed with the vision of where and who you truly are. And you're gonna defeat any obstacle that you find blocking your path to success. You're gonna be the person that stays excited until the entire job is done, until that dream that you dreamed of is real and tangible and a reality. When all these other people are gonna get weak and give up and flinch, you're gonna fight and stand tall and never back down. All those long days, hard nights, blood, sweat, and tears that you sacrificed to be better, they'll pay off in the end, because what you believe in your hearts and speak in your minds will eventually become your words and your reality one day. And what you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset. And what gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset becomes an unconscious action and an unconscious activity. And I've always just wanted mine to be guideful, helpful, and nurturing to others. So I'm sending you all much love and high vibrations out to wherever you are in this matrix and galaxy as we get ready to kick off another episode of the Daily Candle Close News. I certainly hope you're doing well wherever you are in this matrix and galaxy, because today we're going to have a longer, more important video to talk about with a lot of things to go over. So if you're new here, welcome. We do cryptocurrency technical analysis combined with a more esoteric approach and metric to these matrix, using numerology, gematria, and astrology, pi, the periodic table of elements, astrotheological teachings from an prehistoric world, and common sense, facts, figures, numbers, logic, to allow us to understand so we can understand, so we can understand these markets. So let us take the clear pill. What is freedom? What does it mean to you? And if you're thirsty for freedom, you'll design a purpose in your life that sets you free, that frees your dome, your mind. But ain't shit gonna get done if you're just laying in the grass, sitting in the sand all day, staying complacent with where you are in life. And that's the same person we deal with in this savior complex mentality in the world. It's just waiting around for someone to come save them, waiting around for the orange guy to drain the swamp or whatever the hell. And it's like, really? You're gonna squander every opportunity in a waiting game? What are you doing between now and then? And that's why with the artwork that I've been releasing, I've been putting my all and heart into it, trying to prepare you all now, trying to tell you to prepare yourself now. If you want to become rich and you want to become wealthy and you want to take advantage of whatever's going on in life, you got to prepare yourself. You got to do the work, whatever that means to you. Build a craft and a skill designed around what you love to do in life. If you have a desire and you seek freedom, it starts with how you dedicate yourself to this very moment, the now moment, the present moment in life. And if you dedicate that moment to yourself, you'll get results. But if you dedicate it to someone else's truth, someone else's groupthink, you'll just be feeding their results. See, we can either live our dream in this matrix and accomplish our dream and fulfill our dream, or we can be used as a battery and a resource to fulfill someone else's dream. Which one do you pick? I pick the first, not the latter. I think so many people in this world believe they want freedom. Again, I think so many people in this world believe they want freedom, but they don't want to work for it. They don't want to put in the work and the time. They complain the most about the New World Order and etc., and they're the least to take action. The ones who complain the most about government and politics, they're the ones that are least likely to do anything for themselves. They just hype around keyboard warriors on Twitter and Facebook, etc. And there's no change being made in their individual life because they don't want to do anything about themselves. They don't want to solve a problem that they can solve in the world. In actuality, the only thing they're fighting is their own reflection, their own self-recognition. Every time we try to go outside of ourselves and fight this external fear, false evidence appearing real, we're not looking in the mirror at ourselves. Our higher self is looking down on us, shaking its head, saying, when are you going to evolve? When are you going to get it? When will you learn? When will you learn that love, abundance, and gratitude is sitting right there inside of you? When are you going to learn that you are higher self, that you are the Messiah? When are you going to learn that the entire cosmos and universe only exists because you do? When are you going to learn that the eyes that you're looking through are the only sight you have? And you put the perception of good and evil, right and wrong, black and white, etc. on that. Everything else is just neutral. Before you put your perception on it, your ears are the only things that hear. You are it. You are the I am that I am. So how do we channel that energy and transmutate it into something we love to do in life, something that provides fruit for our future self to eat, return on our investments, etc.? Well, we got to start by being ourselves. And I can guarantee you it isn't going to happen if we're pouring our energy and water, our Merkaba, our prana, our life force into someone else's cup. Make sure your cup runneth over. Just think, we're in a time right now where people need to learn how to take focused action. They need to learn how to do. So when we enter that now moment and we unlock that essence coming from ourselves, when we unlock that Merkaba and that prana inside of us, that energy, we got to use it. Like, that is where all abundance and love and gratitude is. If you think about it, money is just thoughts. Thoughts are your money. Your mind is your greatest asset. All money is created through the idea of being manifested into reality somehow. So when you have this imagination working for you instead of against you, tap into that. Tap into that life force, that energy. And this happens to me all the time. And it's why I don't really meditate anymore. And I'm not downing meditating. I just don't find any value in it for me anymore. You know, I still respect it. I'm just being honest. But it's the same thing with paying attention to the news, etc. It doesn't bring me any value anymore. I'll pick up a pen and a piece of paper and I'll write, or I'll read, or I'll create artwork and share it with the world. Or I'll just be out in the gym or in life, connecting with Mother Nature and Gaia. Or I'll just be sleeping and I'll wake up with this wild idea and I instantly write it down. Because I don't care if it destroys my sleep pattern or whatever, all that's irrelevant. My thoughts are the greatest value in my life. They have more value to me than anything in this world besides love. And that is my essence. When I have a thought, I put it to work. Work for me. And I invest that thought. I don't spin that thought. I have it work for me. And we need to do something about this beautiful mind that we have. We need to tap into this greatest computer, this quantum computer that we have. Again, neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to rewrite its own programming. Why not take advantage of that? Why not manifest our own reality? That's the greatest thing we can do as pioneers today. Build our fortress. Build our legacy. And if meditation is your way of getting there, I respect that, you know. I truly do. And I'm not, again, downgrading meditation when I say I don't use it anymore. I've just been able to evolve past it into a state of nirvana and nothingness. And that's true power and control in my life, where I let nothing else outside of me keep me distracted from being my true self and in touch with my higher self and my higher purpose. So again, let's kick off this episode and get ready to talk about cryptocurrency technical analysis and more market psychology. Because when we look at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame lately, we just know that, well, we've just been going sideways. You know, pretty boring for the last week plus. 7 days in this small, tightening range. Pretty much a triangle, a bare pennant that's being printed on the 2-hour time frame. So if I was to draw this right here, and extend this trend line out, we're kind of in this bare pennant, whatever you want to call it. I just throw two trend lines up after I find a horizontal trading range. Like I said, we've been just trading sideways in this possible bear trap. We'll see as time plays out. If we continue to move up in price, this could show to be a bear trap, a long drawn out bear pennant like we were talking about. And we just found ourselves in this zigzag up and down bounce range. Again, we bounced from these lower price ranges for the Bitcoin bulls until we just started in this long, arduous, multi-day trading period, which I think has a lot to do with the fact that the Dow Jones has been off until today since September 2nd. So the last 4 days, the market and other indices have been closed. So probably got a lot to do with this sideways price action that we've been seeing for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, etc. Some of your altcoins are pumping little 6-8 percentages, whatnot. So, if you're on a 2x, 3x, 5x leverage trade, then maybe you're doing pretty good on some of our altcoins that like Chainlink and XRP that have made a little bit of a move lately. But again, the Bitcoin bull is just bouncing us at this level. If the bulls cannot hold this level and lose this level, and we talked recently about the 21 exponential, the 55 exponential, this 1993 range that is continuing to give us resistance. If we lose this level, we're looking at, possibly 19,000 even, 17,500. 18,100 as some ideas. So we know the Fed right now is doing everything they can to strengthen the dollar, and we've talked about this recently. It's just continuing to rise, so not good for cryptocurrencies. So we could be expecting a possible another move to the downside. We don't know. Only time will tell. Right now we're continuing to hold possible higher lows in structure and consistent sideways trading right below this 1993. We've got to get above this breakout level with a breakout and a retest. We had that, and we talked about that in our last video. However, the bulls were not able to continue that momentum on Friday. So again, 3 Fridays in a row. A recent Fed meeting that came in on August 26th sold us off in the markets. The Friday before that, we saw a sell-off in the markets. But look at this, a long, drawn-out price action sell-off 2 Fridays in a row, but this past Friday was, it wasn't as high in volume. So it's showing me some possible seller exhaustion and pre-baked in institutional traders putting the market where they wanted it before the weekend started. So very, very important. This past weekend, there was no volume. And that's so important. I don't think people are paying attention to this volume in Bitcoin right now. So Bitcoin on this 2-hour time frame, again, not predicting anything. Just want you to possibly open up longs if we continue to break out like we did before getting sawed off over this 1993 horizontal trading range. That's the most important thing. And we get a break to the upside above these previous highs that we keep getting resistance from, lower highs in structure. So very important. If we get a breakout of price action and a bullish back test from, getting stopped out right here at this $20,500, $20,700 range, and then coming back and retesting some of these tops, retesting possibly the 55 exponential moving average that could move up. The 21 could cross that, showing us a bullish cross, and while we get price action to the upside, we want to long the market on any bullish upside back test, hold a support for a continuation up to 21,500 or that $22,300 where we obviously failed to hold support going back in time. A very key range. Again, that 223,322 tying us into our favorite lizard pals at New Haven, Connecticut, Yale University, Skull and Bones. So very important that we continue to pay attention to some of these things that we've recently talked about. So we went over this in our last episode and some of the ones recently that we put out over the last week or so. An amazing connection that we found was September 3rd. It left 119 days left in the year, and we know that's a very, very important number. We know it's the mirror of 9/11, which is coming up in just about 5 days, the 21st anniversary of September 11th, 2001, the World Trade Center incident. So we know that's tying us into the eye of providence and the all-seeing eye of God, they say. So very important. We know when we use gematria and numerology and ancient text to detect the numerological value of a number, name, word, or phrase. This eye of providence is also known as the all-seeing eye. Some people call it the all-seeing eye of the Illuminati nonsense. We know it's the most ancient symbol for the Messiah. So giving us this 119, we know this is a very important day. But recently, this was a Saturday, Saturn day. And this is so very important, leaving 119 days left in the year. We've been talking about this number a lot this year because because we're in the 21st anniversary of 9/11, and that 21 number is very symbolic and highly utilized by the occult. This 9/11 date coming up is massive because we're in the year of the Shemitah. We're in the year of the harvest, the year of Saturn. Really, it's the year of Jupiter, but it has everything to do with Saturn this year, the Shemitah year. So the dot-com bubble 21 years ago is very similar to what we're experiencing today in the cryptocurrency market. We have upwards of 20,000 cryptocurrencies in the cryptocurrency market when only 2 years ago we had less than 7,000. And it's just showing us a very symbolic time period of 2001 where a lot of cryptocurrencies are just taking up space, and it's very important that we possibly see a drain out of cryptocurrencies and a liquidity shift, where money goes where it needs to go instead of where it's been in all these shit coins and nonsense, etc. we've seen. And over the past several months, we've been seeing retail leave these markets, and we've been seeing the enlightened pioneers take the time to learn the tricks and trades and the tools to make it in this market. And I congratulate anyone that's still here, because my opinion is the most important time to focus on the market is right now, when no one else is excited, when everyone else is sick of the market, or they lost money and they're tired of it, or they're just bored. And that's when you want to take advantage and make the most money, is when it's boring and bloody, and you sell when everyone else is happy. And if you can keep this cycle up decade after decade, you can master the art form of investing. This is a game of emotions, and when you remove your emotions and become calm and actually channel in your inner peace and leave your emotions on the sideline and utilize your craft and skill that you're building, you can analyze this from a calm state of being. And that's what will really help you unlock this ability. And that's a big reason why I've came out with the artwork that I have exactly at the time that I did over the last few years, because I wanted to be out there before the next market cycle top, before possibly November, December, October, where we have this historic price action, whether it's a dip or your euphoric rally, it doesn't matter. I want people ready for that and their emotions ready for that when that time comes, so they'll know what to do, while the masses will be confused, lost in an article, etc. Nonsense. You'll be prepared, and that's what my work is all about, unlocking the conscious perspective of viewing these markets and your finance, so it can bleed into the other aspects of your life, whether that's the way you live your life or work your job, or hang out with your kids, or the business you run, whatever. It's going to be profound in so many more abundant areas of life. So this day that we were recently talking about, September 3rd, leaving 119 days left in the year, being in the 21st anniversary of 9/11, we know that 21 shows up in Saturn, Father Time, Chronos. And again, this is everything to do with the Shemitah year, the sabbatical year, the Sabbath year. The Sabbath is Saturn, Father Time, Chronos, death, the one that carries the scythe. And after the Shemitah year, we tend to see a harvest. And this year is everything to do with the harvest. So this date of September 3rd, 9/3, was very important. And the third connection, or another connection I mean to say, this was happening on Saturday, Saturn. So that was the first connection, being the day of Saturn. Okay, 9/3, Saturn equals 93. The second connection was the 119th day of the year. And the third connection was this leaves 23 days left in the year. I didn't know what else to say about this besides that it would be interesting. And if we actually took this to the last day of Rosh Hashanah, the September 27th, we see that it was a 24-day time period, tying us into the Jupiter logo symbol that we see. So we can see that it's also 3 weeks and 3 days, that 33, that very powerful transmutation number that we go over here. This energy, I believe, was going to be kicking in the cryptocurrency market in my last video, but yet we've still been just sideways, just waiting to see what goes on in the Dow Jones now that it's open today again. Throughout the rest of the week, we're now in the 36th week of the year, and that's very important. I'll paraphrase something I've read one time, and this has everything to do with Azrael. The 36th week of the year, I believe, has a lot to do with a potential what we could see this week. If we were to see a pre-end of the Shemitah dip in the cryptocurrency markets, I think it could possibly come this week before we head into the 37th and the 38th week of the year. The 37 being a very powerful number, being the mirror of 73. 73 is the 21st prime number, and we just talked about that 21 number. 37 symbolizes the 3 sevens and the jackpot of the casino. 7 plus 7 plus 7 is 21. So very important this week, if we were to see a potential continuation lower in the price action of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, Dow Jones, and the stock markets, I think it could have everything to do with Azrael. Something I read one time, and the paraphrase is, Azrael was a sinner whose soul was condemned to purgatory, and after years of watching him suffer, the angels asked God to let Azrael free. However, God ignored them. So the angels went down to heaven, and when God asked why, or the angels went down to purgatory and raised his soul back up to heaven, and when God asked why, the angels said that he had suffered enough. And the combined innocence of the angels' souls outweighed Azrael's sins. And, that was very important and symbolic to me. I wanted to bring that up. So if we were to see this very exoteric price action dip in cryptocurrencies, because we've been in this long, arduous, sideways trading period that tends to always lead to a move either up or down after going sideways for an arduous amount of time, we're getting resistance from this very, very important 1993 range. Horizontal trading ranges are more important than anything. Any pattern or Fibonacci or anything we can pull, any moving indicator average like the EMAs or the SMAs, nothing matters more than a horizontal trading range when we find ourselves in one, going back in time. So very important. So this Azrael character even gives us the 36 and the 63, and we're in the 36th week of the year. So very important. I'm just paying attention to this esoterically, being the angel of death, this character, as to why we could possibly see a sell-off in the markets continuing lower to some ranges that we've talked about going back almost 3 months now. So very important. Alright, and we'll get rid of this page. Go and do your own due diligence and research if you don't know much about this character. It is associated in the Judaism Hebrew culture. So that's why I wanted to bring this up, as we are in the year of the Shemitah and talking about all of these very important things like Tishri coming up, the first day of Tishri. We know the 10th day of Tishri is Yom Kippur. That's going to be October 10th coming up, or October 5th coming up. 10-5, giving us that 1-5, that very powerful 15 number that we've exposed and educated you all on for a year now on this channel. So another very important day after the end of the Shemitah and the start and end of Rosh Hashanah is going to be Yom Kippur coming up on October 5th. So not to get ahead of myself, I just wanted to share a few things that are on my mind that I've been forgetting about lately and been meaning to bring up. Excuse me, let me get a drink of water. So with the stock market being closed lately, everything has been closed except for cryptocurrency, the crypto casino. And it's been pretty wild to see how this is going to shift into tomorrow, 9-7. Today's that very symbolic 9-6, the yin and yang, the balance, and black, white, left, right duality of this world. So very important. We're in a time period right now, approaching the end of the Shemitah, and it's a time period that's so important. And I'm probably one of the only internet communities in the world that are, ready for what's to come outside of whatever somebody else is sharing out there on the internet that, is not built around a true mindset and investment thesis around some very esoteric, symbolic, and occultic hidden knowledge. This is a time period where we need to get our thesis and investment portfolio solidified now before we head into the end of this 7-year cycle. Get yourself prepared for anything that could happen. So when the time comes, whatever it is, you can take action. So here we are. We'll go ahead and look at, a few ranges of this 2-hour time frame, and I don't want it to look confusing to anyone, so I'm going to try and break it down step by step. We've had these few color-coded EMAs that we've talked about, possible ranges we could see. We know this 223 exponential as well as the 322 exponential. Both of these are very important ranges, and an exponential moving average price action advantages to take advantage of if we were to see them, continue to hit this 20,600. So something we know is important. Again, that ties us into skull and bones. So we want to see if we continue to just get reactions to these exponential moving averages, solidifying past data. So ever since the transition into late July and early August, we were traveling above these time periods until August 15th, the Richard Nixon shot, very symbolic, and then we fell below the 21, which fell below the 55, which fell below both of these. So very important. If I were to put emphasis on any range, it would be these two exponential moving averages and this 21,500. Okay, so again, giving us another horizontal trading range, more important than anything else, that 21,500. We also have this 22,300, 322, 223, and this parallel channel that is very important for us to continue to pay attention to moving forward. And I'm not going to care until we get back into that and break back above with support held above this dotted heart line. That would be more important than anything. That would be breaking back above this 23,700, which was a clear break of support, a rejection range, where we fell down into this accumulation range that we're back in. So another level, if we were to, not get above $19,930, it would be 19,000 flat, this 1911, this, very symbolic to 9/11, this 19 flat, or this 181. We know Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, he equals 181. When you type his name out in Gematria, something we've shared for a year plus now, 181 is the 42nd prime number. Again, tying us into Saturn. Saturn equals 42. So Bitcoin's market cap is definitely in the upper range right now, and it has maturity. And at least for 13 years of chart data, we can really start to focusing in on a horizontal trading ranges like this 181 for potential ranges for what's to come next if we were to continue lower. So this is something I share, as well as Wyckoff method. I love Wyckoff method. It's like a market compass. Horizontal trading ranges built with Wyckoff method, along with the tools that we teach here, is going to answer a lot of questions when you're just lost in this market and you're wondering, where am I? So if you're lost, you can be found when you have a market compass, when you learn how to read a graph with the keys. So it's very important. Looking at these horizontal trading ranges, it's hard to say that this 1993 level is going to hold for much longer. That's going to be important. The daily close that we recently had was even below that, and not just on the 2-hour time frame. Yesterday, or the start of today, last night, we got this pump at, it was roughly 10 o'clock. So that's why you see this wick and this hammer pattern right here. This came in late last night and early this morning. We even pumped above, but boom, immediately closed yesterday's candle pretty much below this 1993 range. So until we get consistent daily closes above this, then we're more keen and prone to see another breakdown in price. And I know a lot of other cryptocurrency technical analysis providers and content providers are just out here sharing panic and Bitcoin's going to 14K, etc. And it may be possible, but the more I see people doing this, the more I get bullish. Not financial advice. And we've been bullish for a 28K price range, 30 to 33K price range for Bitcoin before post Shemitah. And maybe we don't see this range until after the Shemitah, more towards October, before we see a sell-off. But if we continue to break structure and continue to go lower and don't hold a, say, double bottom in price range before continuing up, then we're obviously gonna go lower to some of these ranges that a lot of these other content providers are talking about. And again, some ranges we've shared with you in the past. So one thing to talk about is this, this is a very sophisticated move by the market maker. And this is kind of like what we call a inverse twin towers pattern, very symbolic to the 9/11 we have coming up that we've been speaking about. And this showed us our bottom, which hit, roughly 17,500. So that's going to be the key range to see if we were to fill out these wicks and retest these ranges with it could even be like a spring in structure where we come down and are a very big bottom recovery back out of this. So very important, very sophisticated move by the market maker that's bought up within like a 24-hour period. Uptrend rejected from 21,500, that horizontal range that we're looking for the upside next, our next target to the upside. So let's look at the weekly and bring up some of our moving averages. On the weekly, alright, let's get a cleaner chart, you guys. Bitcoin on the weekly. Boom, right here. This would be just fine. Zoom in. Bring up, dang, you guys, I don't have those moving averages I want to look at. We'll look at this chart right here on the weekly. Another chart we've kept for some time going back in time, basically giving us this 1993 range as well as this 22,300 range, which we would like to get back above. So very important. We'll have the 223 and the EMA ribbons. We're going to change our settings to get some of these back because I've been hiding them from you. And we see on the weekly right now, this gray is our 8 exponential moving average. We have failed to get back above this 8, which is below the 13. This pink is the 200 exponential moving average on the weekly time frame. That's a very key level at $24,700 that we'd like to see a break back above. We know we're potentially looking at this W pattern breakout. If we were to continue to get a higher low in structure, that would be very important and key for a W pattern breakout and a move to the upside. This would be considered our neckline at this 200 exponential moving average on the weekly time frame. So very important. What we don't want to see is this 21 on the weekly cross this 200. That would be very bearish, you guys. So key to see this 21 get a bounce or to start seeing price action move to the upside so we can start to see maybe some of these exponential moving averages start to round out. The way that they're sloping down, that's not good, you guys. That's what we need to pay attention to with these moving averages, is how they are looking. Are they sloping up, down, or trading sideways? So we can see here very clearly, a bearish divergence right here. So clear sign of not ready to recover instantly. It needs a moment, you guys. So as we approach the end and finality of the Shemitah and the start of Rosh Hashanah and the lunar cycles, it's kind of where the chaos ensues. And I know a lot of people are wondering, why hasn't the lunar cycle truly worked over the last month? And that's a lot of the sturgeon moon that we talked about in a recent episode of the Daily Candle Close News. Is August brings the sturgeon moon, which is typically bringing a relief rally in structure. So sometimes we tend to see the moon patterns flip-flop. And September is a key historical month to also see these moon patterns just flip-flop, where the new moon can be bearish and the full moon can be bullish. And this dates back, going back in time as well. And it always happens to be around September, which I think has a lot to do with Rosh Hashanah, aka the Shemitah as well, every 7 years. And also this year having a lot to do with the upcoming eclipse in October. So to shed any light on that for anybody that's still confused about the moon patterns and why we've been, pretty bearish recently as we head into this next new moon, which the next full moon is September 10th. So very important. We're roughly 4 days away from that. We know they tend to typically be bearish, the full moons. So in a few days that's going to come in, but recently and in the past we've seen them flip-flop. So the full moon this month could tend to bring a rally in structure. I know if we look back last year in September, after a dip, we had this little rally to the upside. So this could be very symbolic to this August time period back here, just not as grandiose, with a little recovery, just like right here over the past few weeks, before another rise past the end of Shemitah into October, another historic month for, finance. So very important. We tend to see a lot of corrections and crashes in the month of October, November, December, fourth quarter. So very important. The downside levels, like we talked about, would be essentially filling this weekend down to 17.5, or if we were to have weekly closes below this 1993 just consecutively, we could have like a short-term spring, a wipe down even lower than our 17.5 and possibly that 161 golden ratio of buy. Not predicting or anything, just showing a potential spring that's bought right back up over the next few days, entering into the next week, etc. So very important that we pay attention to this moving forward. MACD not looking too good. Got a little bit of volume and it's showing green histograms, but we're still below this zero, so showing signs of really chill, relaxed Bitcoin price action. So in one of the lower volatility times for Bitcoin, we talked about this in our last episode, September kind of has the least profitable months for Bitcoin going back in time for 13 years. So if you're somebody that's a trader and trying to pay attention to the cyclical nature of things, pay attention to that. So we'll look into Ethereum a little bit. What we paid attention to recently was just this is the wrong chart. Is it? Huh. I don't quite remember which chart we spoke about last. Boom, boom, boom. Ethereum. Boom, there we are. This was the last chart we were on. We're seeing a bullish flip of this 21 and this 55 potentially. That's key to pay attention to. If this 21 gets above this 55, we could see another rally in price action. But this trading range and that we're seeming to get stopped out at is this 173, tying us into the 173 we get in Vitalik Buterin, the creator of and co-founder of Ethereum. So when you type his name out, you get the 173. This is a horizontal trading range. We need to get back above and hold support up, but seeing another move up to back to $1,900, $2,000 Ethereum. This could have been the last time we saw 2021 in a 22 year, that 22 right there, very symbolic, before we potentially set, another low in structure or retest this range. We could see this even fall off below $1,000 if we were to see some of these cryptocurrencies just get eradicated in this very similar .com bubble-like, investment class we're in with cryptocurrencies. Again, 20,000 plus cryptocurrencies, most of them being garbage. So a lot of them are tied to Ethereum. We could see a washout in Ethereum to wash a lot of these nonsense cryptocurrencies out before continuing up. Right now, we're from our lows still up a grandiose amount of percent for Ethereum, roughly, still up roughly 88%, you guys, from that $880, wow, that $880 low. You can't make this up, look right here. You get an $880 even low. You're up 88% right now where you're at with Ethereum. So not financial advice, but if we don't get a flip in these exponential moving averages for Ethereum and a break back above this, well, I'd say $17,030 range where we were just speaking about, then we could see a potential $1,300 Ethereum again. None of this is financial advice, remember. This is just showing me a potential downside implied. So, multiple daily rejections to the 55 right here. That's just not a good thing. Definitely indicates a potential downside. We'll just have to see. Just 200 on the simple. That's not bad. You know, a move down to 1450, that could be possible. So we could see a move like this coming down, up, holding a higher low, and showing us a W pattern, bringing us back to this 236, roughly 1850. That could be possible. Then coming back to back test this. So just looking at this real quick, a couple things to say about the Bollinger Bands is we're above the median. That's good. If we can hold support above both of these, get that 21 to flip, that 55 to flip this median, that's a key indicator right there, bullish. We can push up right here to this top side, which is 1774. So above 1730, very important. Okay, I wouldn't count on that too much until we continue to see this RSI climb up and this MACD continue to set bullish histograms. This could be the one histogram it sets before it flips back bearish. Okay, let's see if these signals can get above this 0 range. That's going to be key before moving up. Somewhere around 19, I think, though, about 1900. Very important. If we can't close above that, that's probably where it'll get dicey, this 236. When we pull it from our recent high to our recent low, that 236 is going to be key. Red hot zone if we can't get back above that. So I hope you're enjoying the TA today, you guys. I know some people might be confused because I move fast through this sometimes. I share a lot of information. But if you're interested in learning the things that we talk about in technical analysis, you know, etc., manifestation, you know, go back and look at some of the work we've released over the last 2-3 years. I mean, there's still so much hidden gems and value in these episodes, and you can learn from watching a video 6 months, a year ago. I mean, yeah, you're going to see me make mistakes and get tongue-tied, etc. But you're going to start to learn and develop skills that you can utilize for yourself, so you can stop following somebody and stop watching somebody, so you can learn how to take profit in life, not just in this market. So consider educating yourself in this time that we're in. You know, even if it's not with my videos or if it's somebody else you resonate with, I just really care about you all, pioneers, and I really want you all to take this opportunity in the final moments we have of this very historic time period to get ready for what's to come, to take action for any possible event that we may see, like C-19 or 9/11, war narratives, etc. Financially, you know. Don't FOMO in at the top of a green candle, euphoric price rise, and don't sell the bottom in fear and nonsense because of what the news or an article it says, etc. But anyways, we did start to close, let's see, yesterday, 16. If we can continue to close above 1600, I can see us continuing to move up for Ethereum. Very important. I guess the next level will really be that $2,200 range. If we were to move up, and that would be retesting our previous highs, which could be a bearish M pattern. We'll have to pay attention to that. I've got to set a higher high to invalidate that, and our potential low would be again that, well, we'll say $880 if Bitcoin was to retest its 17.5 lows or go even lower. So very important. XRP, something we've talked about recently. A lot of people have actually reached out and said thank you for the red pills that I've shared on this recently, and you know, thank you for all that have came over. I appreciate all of you. You know, I definitely continue to add more TA for XRP and gut checks and red pills for this, you know, cryptocurrency. But throughout time, I've shared a lot about this XRP mentality and also this cryptocurrency. It used to be every thumbnail to draw in those mindsets, to try and enlighten them to a deeper view of what this market, how this market operates, and what this market is. So anyone that joins, you know, thank you, and you know, just continue to watch this play out over time for what it really is, and that's controlled and pre-programmed to an algorithmic code. One thing to note is we've just been in a euphoric 6.27% rise. We had a sharp price rise before getting this smack-down hammer doji candle again last night at roughly 10 o'clock. So when Bitcoin moved up, it brought all other cryptocurrencies up as well, bringing us past this 33.3 price range. We were getting stopped out of this range back around the 33rd week of the year, so not surprising. And we've just failed to get back above the 55 and 21 exponential moving averages since. And we've been holding and support and retest and bounces off of this 32.2 range. And this 32.273, that 73 again is the 21st prime number. That's why I have that there. It's just a very key range for me. And we've just bounced off of that. Again, tying us back into skull and bones. You really can't make it up, you guys. So to see a multiple daily candle close or 2-hour candle close above this 21 is showing me potential moves back up to this 34 cents, this 236 from our previous high to our previous low. And this is going from high to low on the 2-hour time frame. That high of around, that 41 cents we recently hit, that 40 cents. Again, Ripple equals 40, XRP equals 14, so the mirror of 41. That's why we had these ranges set at this 41 cent target range, this 40 cent target range to exit out and de-risk our portfolio before getting a great accumulation opportunity again around this 322. So not financial advice, just sharing this with you all, being transparent. We want to continue to hold support above this 33.3 so that we can continue to see these price ranges for XRP like the 40 cent, 41, and that possible 51 cent moving forward if we were to continue to see Bitcoin move up. So again, 2-hour time frame for XRP and all other cryptocurrencies, we're just going euphoric at 10 o'clock last night because Bitcoin had a small pump up, a 0.15% up on the 2-hour time frame for Bitcoin, brought a lot of cryptocurrencies up, 0.5%, etc. So very important. We'll continue to let Bitcoin be the overall key and indication of how we want to trade our altcoins and other stocks, etc. in this cryptocurrency market. Alright, so inside of my course and the work that I do, I teach the blueprint of how to develop a mindset properly, and that could be really helpful for some people to just stick to the basics. Sometimes less is more, or just don't be a player when you're uncertain. It's better to be a student of the game rather than not know how to play the game, or not know the rules of the game, or just try playing it and it doesn't go the way that you want it to and you start taking losses. In reality, when you could have just sat on the sideline and been building your craft and skill and learning from other people who have been there before you. And I hope I've been one of them people that can prevent those mistakes and someone who can expedite your process towards success and being successful. But none of us can want this market or will this market to go up or make it go down or want it to go where we want it to go. There's an element of controlling our emotions and leaving them on the sideline. An investor is not a one-cycle thing. It is a for the rest of your life thing. Investing is not buy the bear market, sell the bull market. It's not like that. It might seem like that in practice, the same way communism sounds good in practice until it's practiced. Okay, and then shit hits the fan and you learn the true nature of humanity and things like communism. When bear markets are here, no one wants to buy. And when bull markets are here, no one wants to sell. They got diamond hands instead of having a diamond mind. Which is why we need to widen our time horizon and look at this as a lifetime opportunity to be us, to be better. Not an opportunity to get rich overnight. We're in a 7-year cycle, a very rare opportunity where there's lots of market chaos. And we see a lot of retail leave these markets forever and never come back. And it's our opportunity to respond to this with the chance of setting ourselves up in the future with setting ourselves up for the future with fruit that we can eat. So planting the apple tree today, but not expecting to eat the apple tomorrow, but in a few years. So very important. to kick this off and end this episode, we're going to talk more about the thumbnail of this video, which was September and the National Preparedness Month. We know September, something I've been talking about over the last few episodes, is this September giving us this 103. And something I bring up is the 103 is the 27th prime number, tying us into things like, well, Jupiter giving us that 27, or Bitcoin giving us the mirror of the 27, which is 72. Ripple, XRP gives us that 27. All very important. It's tying us into money. Okay, we talk about money and finance here on the Daily Candle Close News. It's the 36th week of the year, the mirror of 63. 18 ties us into the Shemitah, the year we are in, and we're in the Gregorian calendar year of 2022. So money on this channel is highly important and something I wanted to implement into my work, because a few years ago I saw we were coming up on another time period that was going to leave people just even poorer than they've ever been, or richer than they've ever been. And rich is realizing I create happiness. So true wealth is health, you guys. Remember that. But September gave us this 103, and it ties us into the god of commerce that we talk about here on the Daily Candle Close News. That 103 tied us into Mercury. So very important, highly important. That 23 we get in Bitcoin. 23 is a very important number. It symbolizes the two threes. The 33, Mercury is the god of commerce. And we go over this like a broken record. So very important. But September, like I said, is National Preparedness Month, you guys. And National Preparedness Month is giving us, I spelled national wrong, sorry, is giving us that 379, which is the 75th prime number. Cryptocurrency equals 75 when you type it out. But National Preparedness Month also ties us into September. How do you think they decided when to tell us National Preparedness Month was, and which month they decided it was going to be? It was going to be September, highly tied to Mercury and commerce. Again, commerce giving us 75, cryptocurrency giving us 75, 379 is the 75th prime number. So we're paying attention to cryptocurrency this month. And I spelled cryptocurrency wrong. Cryptocurrency giving us that 75. So very important. Okay? But National Preparedness Month is where I want to prepare all of my pioneers to get ready for any potential euphoric rally to the upside, or any potential drastic black swan event and crash to the downside. Mercury stationed in retrograde is coming up, and a lot of people like to blame clumsiness or things that just go wrong on Mercury stationed in retrograde. We've talked about this time period being actually a pretty boring sideways leading to a pump, and one anomaly which we just recently saw, where we saw a manipulated dip coming out of Mercury station in retrograde a few months ago. So we're watching this time period from September 9th to October 2nd very closely for Mercury station in retrograde. We know September has obviously everything to do with Mercury, like we were just talking about, and being prepared. Tomorrow is September 7th, and something I'm paying attention to is we get that 83 in September 7th. 83 is the mirror of 38 that we know we get in Shemitah. So, very important day. September 7th also gave us that 70. Alright, so it's all about the sevens this year. So, this is tying us into Tishri, which is the 8338 connection here. And Tishri is the Hebrew month and calendar of this month. Very important significant dates are Rosh Hashanah, okay, Yom Kippur, etc. So very important, the Hebrew culture, this Tishri giving us the 83 that we talked about. That 8338 connection tomorrow, September 7th, is recently tying us into the lizard pal that we just saw who had a birthday, Warren Buffett. That 8338 connection, that 21 tying us into Saturn in the Shemitah year. Warren Buffett's birthday was on 8/3/83, August 30th. You see the connections here? He turned 92, you guys. We're in the Shemitah year. Well, Shemitah equals 92. So not surprising that we were getting these esoteric connections right here. One more thing about National Preparedness Month is National Preparedness Month gave us, when we just type out National Preparedness, I believe it gives us that 314, you guys, which is very symbolic to pi. And, oh man, I copied the wrong thing. Boom. National Preparedness is giving us that 314, pi, the mathematical constant, the Ouroboros, okay? The circle gives us 83. And this is important because we know Bitcoin hit its top on the 314th day of the year, or a day leaving 314 days left in the year last year. Which one was it? It was 11/9. Bitcoin hit its top 11/9 and 11/10, the 111 day, which was the 314th day of the year last year. So watching this month closely, tying us into the circle, giving us 83 right here. This is all tying us into Kabbalah, you guys, and it's something I teach with you all, is the ones who run the show, the Kabbalistic Jews, etc. This 38 connection we get. We teach you using this code called Gematria about this 38 connection, this 83. So very symbolic. We know this ties us into Gnosis, which is knowledge, Gnosis, and wisdom, this 83 number, this 38 connection. So very symbolic, you guys. It's tying us into Murder by Numbers that the police released in 1983, which was almost roughly 38 plus or minus years ago. And it was an album that they talked about, where they had a song that talked about murder by numbers and the elite that would murder, playing a game by the numbers. So very important. This is, again, they would play this game around death, giving us that 3883, murder by numbers, giving us that 8338 connection, tying us into, the black sun, Solo Negra, you guys, dark, deep, Freemason secret, tying us into the forbidden fruit, 8338 connection, and all of this is designed for me to come out here and show you to just simply be the one. Again, it wasn't that Neo was the one, it's that we all have a one within, a world where anything is possible. So I'm going to leave this video here, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sending you all much love and high vibrations as you get ready to, kick off this video and enjoy the rest of your day. So much love and high vibrations. Take care, and God bless, pioneers. Build your fortress and build your legacy. And one last thing about this 3883 connection is we can't see Bitcoin break back above this psychological $20,000 right now, this 1993 range, giving us that 83, tying us into this 115. Pay attention to Lucifer, the light bringer, the morning star, that 38 connection. Take care, you guys. God bless, and have a blessed one. Pioneers rise, build your fortress, and build your legacy.